allegiance and a prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we come this evening, we just want to take a moment and just thank you for the day that you've given us, and we ask that you guide and direct us throughout this meeting, and we ask all these things in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I was just gonna just remind people, I forget to do this, I try to do this every once in a while, but we're trying to keep our meetings more professional, and I just ask if you're not on the agenda to please don't talk or speak out of line, because when we're listening back to the meeting minutes to try to record them, it sounds jumbled, and then we're trying to text each other back and forth what did this person say, or what did this person say, because it's hard to understand. So it just helps when we try to get the notes better. So I'm going to have Tara do our roll call for us.
Brent Stetler.
Yes.
Jerry Fawcett.
Yes.
Walt Minnick. Mindy Joe.
Yes.
Craig Kaczynski.
Here.
Wolf's here.
Oh, here. I'm sorry.
Our first, our public hearing tonight is on additional appropriation for resolution 2026-4-3. This is an additional appropriation for a community foundation park project grant in the amount of $20,000.
And the reason is because you have to have permission to spend, since it wasn't part of the regular
Yes,
budget.
yes. Does anybody have any questions on this, or?
I'll make a motion that we adopt 2026-5-2.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. And then in our packet,
If does anybody have any questions, do you have to ask for that? Because it's a public hearing.
oh, I forgot about that, sorry, I did say that, didn't I? Any have any questions on this for a public hearing or for disappropriations? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and close the meeting then and move to our next item. So. In our council packet, Tara had gave us meeting minutes from last month. Was there any corrections or changes or anything on the meeting minutes?
No, not for me.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Unless you want to wait for Craig, but,
It'll carry with 4 anyway.
okay, that's fine.
There you go with it. Oh, that's a second.
Thank you. We're ready to start new business. And our first item is Garrett Owens regarding some setbacks. Do you wanna get up and talk, Garrett, for a minute? or-
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm just looking for a favorable recommendation for a variance. I'm here with Cat Bill from Area Planning Commission and, looking to build a garage in my property. I have the aerial GIS mapping and I'm looking to put it, outside of the right of way, which is 31 feet from the center of the road. I'm looking to put it up to my front property line. When I applied for it, they said that they want to see it 46 feet from the center of the road back into the yard. Every other setback, so from the side setbacks and the rear is appropriate, but they said they wanted to see it further back. And so I'm trying to get it essentially put 31 feet from the road, which is out of the right of way of my property, but not within the 15 feet that they wanted from area plan. Couple reasons for that is it works better on our property. As we come back into the property, we have trees that are planted there that need room for canopy width for them to grow, which I kind of detailed in there. It's just a better location in our property because it's essentially an emptier spot of our property, just north of the kind of the north end of our property. And I think it's a better location too. Our neighbor actually doesn't face the same street as us. Our neighbor faces the street to the north of us. And if we scoot it back, it actually puts it square in line really with our neighbor's house, right behind their back window and everything. And it just seems like a more appropriate spot in the location that I put it in there on red. The other thing is, I think the other thing that they look for is, does it fit in? There's a portion of their area plan that does account for allowing to be closer just based on what the neighbors are doing. But I didn't have enough with what they have in their plan to be able to do that without variance. But essentially, it asks is, does it seem to fit in with the neighborhood in general? I think it does. I kind of detailed in there. My block is surrounded by a Harrison Clay, Maine, and Illinois. And actually, every home in that block, accounting for homes and garages, actually puts theirs in the exact same place that I'm looking to put it in terms of within our blue line, but within that 46 feet to the center of the road. There's not a single home in my block that actually complies with that. Looks like most of the homes in the town actually don't when you look just anecdotally. So that's what, I detailed it all in there as well if you want to see the pictures of what I'm talking about.
I sent all those to you guys. Did you guys see
Yes.
them?
Yeah.
Hey, Kat, do you have any information for us or?
Okay, so the average setback that he's talking about, we do have it in our ordinance that I can do an average setback. And looking in his case, it did not apply to him because his house and the house to the neighbor house to the south of him both meet the 15-foot setback.
Okay,
The house to the north of him is even further back. So
Okay.
I couldn't apply that standard from our ordinance to his situation.
I'll mention it was because they're on corners, and so they actually have two front setbacks, Illinois and
right,
Clay and Harrison. Technically, when looking at the same street, it's actually the side of their houses
right,
that comes up to Illinois, but the front of their houses is not. Like, for instance, the neighbor, it's actually about 13 feet when measured to the south of me from Illinois. But then when you look at their street, where their actual front of their home faces Harrison Street, it's about 2 or 3 feet from that blue line reference there.
So in regards to that is, although their house faces Harrison, I have to take in consideration what is along Illinois. That's what his house faces, is Illinois. So every structure that's along through there, I have to measure back from the front property line. And so, although it does face Harrison, that structure does abut also Illinois. So I have to take that one into consideration. Otherwise, if I don't take that one into consideration, it still isn't gonna help me because the house to the south of me still needs the 15-foot setback. So, he can file for the variance. I told him that. I mean, we can't can't stop him from doing it. There are 3 criteria that we have to look at in order to meet a variance. The first is, if the variance is gonna be granted, will it cause anything injurious to the neighborhood? Second is, if the variance is granted, will it, do anything to the property values in the neighborhood? And then the third one, which is probably gonna be the most challenging in this case, is, what's the practical difficulty? And it could be like, there's a water line that runs through, or something, you can't build over that, or, something to that nature. We run into it out in the country with septics, because it's gonna put them too close to the septic, or whatever. In his case, he's showing on his site plan, this is gonna be 75.5 feet from the rear property line. And so, he has enough room to move back, so I don't know that.
I do have, there's actually, so I put it in there in a little detail. This is maybe going into more detail than I want to hear, but we actually planted 2 trees in that area. One's actually one of the most rare species of tree in Indiana. It's called Indiana yellowwood, only found in one county. We had to cut down a tree there that had like a 55-foot canopy, really nice tree, rotted and was going to fall in the house. So we actually put in 2 special trees, an Indiana tulip state tree and then an Indiana yellowwood tree. And then we actually brought in an arborist to actually select those locations for them for optimal growth. Their canopy width, they get around 40 to 50-foot canopies on them, that sort of thing. So actually specifically planted those in that area for the arborist recommendations after we had the other tree put down. Actually, if you scoot this back, it essentially puts the yellowwood basically right up to the structure where we're talking. Not ideal, from where we're trying to put it, essentially. So that's actually one of the biggest reasons on here. The other thing I'll point out is we're in the middle of the block instead of the corners, and so it does not cause any issue with sight lines or seeing anybody. We don't have an intersection that we're bordered against. And then the other final thing I put in there is sort of precedence. So we're aware of one structure of similar design and everything like that on the southwest part of town, where it was recently granted variance. I think I put a picture of it in there. And then actually that one is actually into the right of way, and one could argue would maybe block a little bit more of the sight lines of the corner. And so I think that this one sits in a better location than that one, and that had been granted, favorably granted variance by the county. And
I'm
so
not
that's,
sure which one that one is.
that's the one right across from the graveyard in the southwest part of town. That's actually where we got our inspiration from to actually make, a nice looking garage, basically.
It's clear to the end of the street, isn't it? Past the cemetery.
No,
Ashers, probably
Scott
Oh,
Ashers.
Ashers. I
Scott
thought you was
Asher.
talking about
Probably Ashers.
Scott
the Moore boy. He was the last
I
one.
don't know who that is.
Go clear the end of the street to the
That
county
red one,
road.
technically.
They're right on the corner.
Right.
With the big rock.
That's Asher's.
That's actually built
Yeah.
over the blue line into the right of way a little bit. And actually in two blue lines, basically into that corner. So that was a requested variance. I don't know the exact year or anything, but I know that as a precedent, that's sort of a comparison. That one is also like 24-foot wide and things like that. So.
Do you guys have any other questions for Garrett, or?
Well, what does Billy think, I guess, in regards to the right of way and stuff?
I'm fine with it as long as he's off the right of way.
And nothing goes under you or anything.
No, the water line runs parallel with, Illinois,
Okay,
and the wastewater line runs parallel or in the alley, so,
okay,
as long as he stays out of the right of way, I'm fine.
okay. Jay, do you have any comments for us or anything?
Well, no,
Okay,
what the area plan commission will consider but not be, the Board of Zoning Appeals will, consider but not be bound by the decision of the town council.
okay,
It's only an advisory And the Board of Zoning Appeals does want to hear what the town thinks. But ultimately, under the Unified Development Ordinance for the county, it's a decision of the Board of Zoning Appeals that decides.
Okay.
We'll add in one more thing, I think, is the setbacks are a little bit, force people a little bit into almost having to get a variance, because our lots are 66 wide by 30, or 132 feet deep. Some people have a deep lot, some people have a wide and shallow lot, and so it's actually really interesting if you look at some people in town whose lot is 132 feet wide by 66 feet deep, having a 25-foot rear setback, and then setting back 41 feet, or is it 41 or 46 feet? 46 feet from the center of the road, 31 plus 15, 46
But the
feet.
46 is,
From the
let's
middle
be
of the
clear, 31 feet of that is right away,
Right.
and we can't allow any of that.
Right.
You know, but there's only 15 actually from
Right.
the front.
Right. Adding those two from the front and rear setback does make it, for people who have a 66-foot deep lot, really restricts them actually on what they can actually put on that lot, because if you're sort of squeezing them from the front and back
Alright.
a little bit, versus the side setbacks are only like 5 foot for accessory structure things. So anyway, I just think for some people it's really interesting if they have a wide but not very deep
Yeah.
lot, it's that kind of puts them in a really squeeze, just something I noticed as I was kind of looking around.
And there's a difference in some of the lots, and his lot is much longer, so yeah, he's got the room. Some people don't. Those people would have the ability to, have the practical difficulty to prove that why they need the variance, so. It's all by case basis, because
Okay.
all lots are different, so, you know.
Okay.
Did you say one of your concerns is the requirement that a tree be removed to change the location? Is that what you were saying? I'm looking at your.
Yeah.
Right there behind the house somewhere that the arborist put a new tree in.
Okay, but I was looking at this tree.
That's old.
That's removed, okay.
Yeah, that GIS aerial imagery is only updated every,
Getting close.
I don't know, 4 or 5 years or so, 3 or 4, something like that. So that image is actually old, but that's all that's available for this sky.
Sure, I got you. I was just trying to figure if that was part of the problem, was that tree, but it's not there. Okay.
And I'll add too, it's not that we planted twigs, we actually paid over $5,000 to bring in 20-foot tall trees.
Mhm.
So these actually have a base, and they're actually substantial trees. We actually take out our fence and put them in. It was actually a whole ordeal to put these in, actually.
Got a question, why can't that be set back where it's even with that house next door? That's basically what that alignment.
That is his house.
That is his house?
That's his house. He's putting a garage over here.
I still think it ought to be the same.
He's got trees he planted that's in the way. So that's what he was telling us. So,
I'm not in favor.
So basically, if you didn't have the trees, you'd put it
Well, I
there.
think the other consideration is our neighbor to the north. Her kitchen window faces right in the middle of her house, or a little over. I think it was a nicer consideration to not put ours square right behind her house to the north. Anyway, it just seems like a better location. I'll add too that it's very similar to a lot of the other accessory structures in our area. So if you look just southwest to us for the house in the corner, and I'm blanking on the name of it right now. They had Metzger did the really nice concrete form there on Clay Street. There's this,
Rustin.
it's almost nearly identical when you look at their GIS imagery of where their barn is, their garages in relation to their blue line. If you travel just west from them to the yellow garage that's right there, theirs is actually over the line into the public right of way. I mean, if you look at the map of where most people's accessory structures are, like I said, I haven't counted them all up, but it seems to me 75 or 80% of them in the entire town are similar to where I'm putting mine.
And those could be legally non-conforming. conforming, meaning they were built prior to the
Yeah,
ordinance.
and I'm
So,
sure, yeah.
But most of our lots in town, if anybody wants to do anything, there's a lot of, all these lots are tight. And
Yeah.
with all the new stipulations and everything, almost everybody's gonna need some type of variance
Variance.
of,
Right.
Yeah.
some type of a favorable
Yeah.
or an agreement for them, because then nobody will be able to do anything.
The biggest thing is I don't think it causes any harm to anybody. I know part of this process is they send out letters to all of our neighbors with their plan, giving them the opportunity, if they feel like it causes them some harm, they have the opportunity to mention that to the Board of Zoning Appeals. But looking at it, we talked to our neighbors, and I don't think that this causes anybody any harm, it doesn't cause any site restrictions.
And it'll be inside your privacy fence with the
Exactly.
garage door
It's set back,
visible.
yeah, garage door, and it's actually set back from where you see that right now, because we had Moses come out and do an exact survey, so we know exactly where our property line is, and it is set in for that.
Yeah, right, so basically it's covered anyways,
Right.
except for your entry door. into
Yeah,
your garage.
except we would open it up to allow,
To get
to get into the
vehicle in,
garage, yeah.
Jay, what would you recommend us, like the council? do?
That's not my place to do that.
But do you see any issues, or that's what my question was?
Well,
My question is the setback is what I'm concerned about is,
well, I mean, there's reasons for setbacks.
I know,
But, and you have to remember, I wear another hat.
I know, that's
I'm
why,
the attorney
that's why I was
for
asking
the,
you.
for the Board of Zoning Appeals. But again, I would not tell the Board of Zoning Appeals here, other than these are the issues that you have to decide as just been laid out by Kat, is you have to decide, does it adversely impact other, and is there a practical difficulty with him complying with the ordinance in terms of setback? I guess his argument would be the practical difficulty is the trees he's planted.
Right,
Now, then the question is, for the Board of Zoning Appeals is, do you consider that a self-imposed problem rather than one that already existed? And that'll be one of the things they'll probably talk about.
okay,
Now, when you make your decision, you can consider that, and you can consider just
right,
the nature of the neighborhood and those kind of things. And that'll be taken into account. And as I said, it is given weight, it has importance,
okay,
but it's not dispositive. If you say yes, it's not for sure that the BZA will say yes, or if you say no,
right,
it's not for sure that the Board of
Okay.
Zoning Appeals won't say no, we disagree, we think it's yes. And
okay,
their decision counts.
thank you.
How often does the Board of Zoning go against the town?
Not very often.
Okay.
Do you guys have any questions, or do you guys wanna, do you
Well,
guys have any
he's,
comments?
But I can't remember a time that happened. I'm sure it has, but I can't
He's
come
not
up
on
with one.
the state highway or nothing like that, it's on a side street.
In his area, I mean, everything's pretty close all the way along that road, it's not
I
gonna,
wanted to
and it's
put-
behind the privacy
I
fence.
talked to Kat one time, I wanted to put some carports in front of the garages. And one's on state highway, federal highway, and the other one was where a garage is built right on the alley.
Oh, okay,
And she told me I could file an appeal, but there's good reasons for certain things, and I understand that.
Okay.
And she saved me some money by not doing that. But his place, everybody knows where it's at over there. He's on a side street, and it's, if the neighbors ain't throwing a fit about it, we've done this for, down here on Adams Street, remember that? Let that guy build a garage.
2 foot off the alley.
Yeah, right there by the alley and close to the street.
And he is 31
Across
feet
from
off the road.
Rex's house, out
Behind
at Wanda's
Wanda?
back door,
Yeah.
them people.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's worked out, and I
Do you
give
guys
him,
wanna make any kind of recommendation then?
I give him my blessing.
Favorable.
You wanna do a favorable?
I'll go favorable.
Who's all in favor of
Who wants to
recommendation?
make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
Second.
and who's all in favor then? So I guess it passes then, so.
I will send you a letter tomorrow about it. And then he needs his application signed, but
the end or something like that. Like you said, it's right here.
But
Is it by the council or is it
Tara,
just?
but he doesn't really need to file until, I mean, this isn't gonna get heard until the end of June anyway.
Oh, okay,
So he's got some time, so.
okay.
if you have it, I can go ahead and sign it, if you just want me to get it everywhere.
Then we just give it to you when we're done here?
Yeah.
Alright.
Sorry for all the discussion, but just sometimes these are,
No, you guys have to talk that out.
yeah, thank you though for taking the time. Thanks, Jay. Our next item is, Bobby Joe Pendergraft.
She will not be here. She was coming for, has been resolved. She called me
Oh,
today,
okay.
so she said that
So this is
she's
removed.
not coming. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
She said to tell Billy, thank you very much, and she's happy with that.
And then she
Okay.
was, and the fence, I guess, next to her was starting to get put back up or something
Oh,
today.
good.
Yeah, well, he's working on that this afternoon,
Okay.
but I was talking about what she's talking about out in front of her house.
She was coming like pop-out.
Okay, that's great then.
She called
Thanks.
today and said she didn't wanna come.
Our next item then is Sherry's Towers.
Yes. Did you already hand everybody one of these?
Yes.
Okay. So, y'all know what Narcan is? I did not. So by being on the board at the bridge, I'm also on PDFCC, which is Partnership for Drug-Free Clinton County. One thing that some of their money enables them to do is putting, I don't know how to say it correct, the nalobox for Narcan out. Okay, and, so we have that, so I put information on here for you what it is, and it's a nasal spray, and then the proposed is that you could put one here in town, it would be a self-serve. The box would be somewhere that people could get access, but she says the sky's the limit on the location. Healthy Communities would take care of filling it, and anytime a person needs a kit, they would be welcome to take it. In Mulberry, it is in front of the Impact Building, just right in town. In Michigan Town, it's at the fire department. Frankfurt has 12 of them. It's at Healthy Communities, at Trinity, at the probation office, at the neighborhood center, at Old Stony, and at some of the parks. Colfax and Kirklin do not have one yet. So the question is, do y'all want to have one? And if you want to have one, where would you want to put it?
Could we have more than one, or does this cost?
I don't know, we'd have to see about that.
Would it,
Because one is the thing with the town, with the size of the town, I guess, because Mulberry has one, Michigan Town has one.
I don't do drugs, but if I did and I needed one, wouldn't somebody be able to access it quickly instead of having to like park, maybe pull up in front of the fire department, jump out and get it the way their parking lot is?
Okay, the fire department is not gonna be a choice.
Okay.
I thought maybe that.
Fire department's not gonna be a choice.
Oh.
So, I
Okay.
guess that would be up to you guys then on where you would want it, but as I said, and I don't know if you'd want it at the park either, but in other places it's at the town hall, the neighborhood center, Old Stony, so there would be other places in town. And yes, I'm sure, no one has to be in charge of it because the Healthy Communities will be, however, if someone wants to take charge of it, that they could either put more out as needs to be put out, or they could just let Kathy or Laura or somebody know, hey, we're low and they need more.
The reason I was asking, I mean, it'd be nice to have one in town, but, you know, the park might be a place probably might need one, I would think. Things like that were to happen, probably would happen over by the park quicker than it would happen up here.
Yes, I don't know.
I'm hesitant right now to do something at the park. We need to get some cameras put in. I don't wanna see who's getting in the box. I don't want the box vandalized. So that's why I would feel better if it was somewhere there's maybe a camera location. I mean, I mean it as the best I can, like I don't want it, we've had some vandalism at the park, so until we get some
Right.
cameras put up, I'd feel better if it wasn't at the park. Or not scheduled for the park yet, is my thought on it, so.
Just maybe
Jerry,
until we
I'm
get those
curious
and then
as
that
to
one
why
in.
the fire
Have
department's a
one in
hard
town
no.
for now.
You know why?
They are planning to do, something about the fire department is its own thing, and then it works with town, the township trustee.
Okay,
And they are planning to do some work around the sides, not sure which all sides, so it was just no.
okay. It wasn't that they didn't want it there per se, it's that we don't know where we.
Not exactly sure
Right.
where we would want it if we had it, so
Yeah.
yes.
What about on one of the corners at the lit intersection on one side of the
And you can see
building?
on here, it can be on the building,
Mhm.
or it can be on a separate post that they would put in for you. And then it's just part of that. So,
It'd be easy access in that parking lot over here.
The water
Or somebody
tower.
could just jump out real quick instead of having to park.
And
If somebody needs it, I would assume
Minutes
they would
count,
need to get it
seconds
quickly,
count,
right?
yeah.
and this is something the council can talk about and get back with me later. It does not have to be decided now.
Yeah, let us table the Sherry and let us think about it, but we can maybe come up with some good options then.
Sure,
Okay,
sounds good.
Do you put it on June's
Yes.
or?
yeah.
Can I add something, Mindy, on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get permission for Shane to say something.
So the Healthy Communities reached out to us, the fire department, we're doing some type of renovation here in the future, that's why we didn't really want to put it on our building quite yet. The goal behind this was not to be reactive, but to be more preventative with the Narcan, so they can get it before they actually need it. So it's not more like a response, like they have to get it quickly, that'd be a 911 call, but like if a family knows they have people in their family that might use drugs or be a potential victim of overdose, I think for them, more so
Okay.
than, a reaction.
Right, okay,
So if that helps with making your decision on where to put it.
okay. All right, thank you.
And if that's the case, if it's up ahead, the people can go to Healthy Communities and get them, they can whatever, so
Okay.
this is here for both.
All right. Our next item is our landscaping proposals, and we only received one. Billy, have you got anything else, or
I
Just-
haven't gotten a thing in the world.
just the one from Smith? Smith Outdoors. We did receive an estimate from Smith Outdoors, but the estimate for this year was like $9,115, and that's kind of above our budget. So I don't know if we want to table this, or what are your thoughts on this, Billy?
I would table it.
See if we get
Yeah, because
Seek more bids.
we may have to, look at our budget, like, again for next year, like when we're working on our budget this summer, but as at this point, yeah,
John did a wonderful job last year.
yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and table this possibly for June then, Tara?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, thank you. And our last item in our new business is ordinance 2026-5-1, Community Foundation Grant Fund.
This is to receive their fund or their check into.
The $20,000.
Because it shouldn't be mingled with other funds.
My guess is we're required, I haven't counted lines, but it probably needs to be read.
Okay, should I just go ahead and read it out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. Kirklin Town Council ordinance number 2026-5-1, an ordinance to establish the Community Foundation Park Grant Fund. Be it ordained by the Town Council of Kirklin, Indiana as follows. Section 1, the Town Council of the Town of Kirklin, Clinton County, Indiana recognizes that a need now exists for the establishment of a non-reverting fund to accept grant funds received from the Community Foundation to be used exclusively toward an ADA accessible merry-go-round and sidewalk expansion as indicated in the grant agreement with the project name of Kirklin 2026 Park Project. Section 2, the sole source of funding for the newly established fund will be the grant funds received from the Community Foundation for the Kirklin 2026 park project as noted in section 1. Section 3, funds received into this fund will be used for the sole purpose of the purchase and installation of an ADA accessible merry-go-round and sidewalk expansion at the town park. Section 4, any unexpended funds at the close of the grant period will be returned to the Community Foundation. Section 5, upon completion of the project and all funds being expended, the town council authorizes the clerk treasurer to close this fund. Be it further ordained that this ordinance be in full force and effect from and after its passage by the town council, passed and adopted this 11th day of May 2026.
Would anyone want to entertain a motion to,
I make a motion to pass ordinance number 2026-5-1. Because we did the reading, so
Right.
it wouldn't be
right,
on title only.
no. So we have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. We have to suspend the rules to pass.
Is that only, Jay, whenever there's a fee charged to the public?
Or do we
No, I
still
think
do
in
it?
all ordinances.
Yeah,
Okay, so you
I-
suspend the rules?
yes.
I make a motion to suspend the rules to pass ordinance 2025-5-1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
So you move to suspend the rules, and then
And
now you have to make a motion
Adopt it.
to adopt it at to do both readings at one meeting.
First and second reading.
Yeah.
That's what read it. All right, I make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-5-1 on the second reading.
Second.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. But he wanted to stay on the first and second reading on that. First and second reading. Got
I
it.
don't have it.
All right, thank
Get
you.
this
All
worded
right.
for y'all.
All right, thank you. Can you sign that, Craig, and then we're good. That's all right. We're starting our old business, and our first item in our old business is, we have a bridge agreement that we did, I think it was December, right, Jay? I think that was December we did that, and Jay found some like errors in it, so he's made some minor changes to it.
That was presented, I think, given back to the bridge, and has it come back to us? I thought it did.
But I don't, the bridge don't have any,
That we have said okay to everything that you had changed?
Yes.
Yes.
And I don't remember any substantive changes you guys made beyond those.
Correct,
no.
you're good. But we need to have that in our minutes when your other hat's on.
Okay, gotcha.
I can make the motion if you want me to, if you're ready.
Yeah, that's fine. Does the town sign this one too? Or is it just the bridge that signs it?
No, let me see.
That's what I printed, but I don't know if I didn't get the
No,
other
it
page,
is,
that's why I'm asking.
this is an agreement, so the agreement needs to be signed by both the town council.
I didn't have that page on there unless I don't, do you have that whole page too, or?
Talking
Yes,
about this one.
Looks like there's a page signature page missing.
Okay, well,
yes, we had it because they spelled Craig's name wrong and you fixed it.
okay, all right.
This is what Jay sent me. Are you talking about both those pages?
I'm
One
missing
for
a
the
page
town
on,
council and one for.
I'm missing one of my pages, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're if you're ready to approve this, then you have a motion, second
Oh,
vote,
we got it.
and
I do need to
and then
know-
sign it.
I do need to know, we need to change, I'm gonna mark off on the front page there where it says December 2024.
Yes.
Does it say December 2024?
Yeah, that's
We've been working on it a while.
Amen.
So Brett, you can go ahead if you
I
want.
make a motion to approve the agreement with the town of Kirklin and the bridge.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. And I can just ask the bridge members to stop and sign that if you'd like, Tara.
and that's fine, but
Okay.
I'll just have you guys.
Yeah, we can do that.
I think the question last month was whether this satisfied the, making it the equivalent of a design, build, operate agreement.
Yeah, that was the trick, wasn't it?
And both I and Alicia looked at that, and we're of the opinion that it does.
Okay.
Because, again, literally, the bridge is going to design this with town council's approval of the design. Second, it's going to build it, and they're going to be primarily responsible for operating it, which, the reason why that is important is it changes how you have to do the bidding and whether you have to follow the Davis-Bacon Act and those issues. So that would take it out of the public bidding rules, and it would be done as a private bidding because they're the ones responsible for building it.
Yes, because then if people want to do it to help us out, they can.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to our next item. Under our sanitary sewer project, we have an invoice from Commonwealth in our packet. The amount of the invoice is $5,000.
I make a motion that we approve the invoice to Commonwealth Engineers in the amount of $5,000.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. And I'm ready for the park, Billy.
Okay, the cap and lid program is still going strong. We still have several people from several cities and towns around the area donating. In fact, this month, Tara and I will be going to Green Tree Plastics in Evansville and picking up 4 trash receptacles like the one you see out in front of Town Hall. Another bench and 2 toddler picnic tables for the kiddie playground. And then we'll just keep continuing to get caps and lids for that. Also, the pickleball courts and the bathrooms are fully operational and open. And I found out today that Jarvis Construction will be installing the playground equipment at the park starting Wednesday of this week. They've been delayed a couple of weeks by rain, so they're traveling from Jackson, Mississippi, and they will be here Wednesday morning to start work installing that. And then once that gets done, then we'll cover the areas with mulch, and we will more than likely use donated funds for the cost of the mulch if I can't get it donated. Actually, I've been able to get quite a bit of stuff donated for the park, but we'll just keep working at it. I have 3 quotes for the, sidewalks at the park. The companies that, gave me a quote was Metzinger, Elite Concrete, and A1 Concrete Solutions. The Metzinger construction bid was $4,750 to do the work. Elite Concrete was $6,900, and A1 Concrete was $7,965.
And for that, I'd like to thank Metzinger for donating a big chunk of that in his quote.
Billy, where's the sidewalks going? I didn't.
Alright, when you pull into the park, the south end where all of those yellow poles are, there will be a sidewalk from, the right of way all the way up to the corner post. There'll be a 5-foot wide ADA sidewalk
Oh, okay.
from one end to the other.
Okay.
There will be a 5-foot sidewalk connecting connecting the new sidewalk to the existing sidewalk next to the building in line with, the front sidewalk there now.
Okay.
And then, you'll go on around to the pavilion. In the first section on the south end, there will be a 5-foot wide sidewalk that will come off of that and curve over to the location where the handicap merry-go-round will be installed.
Okay.
So that's where those are going.
Okay. Do you want us to finalize the?
Yeah, I gave you the 3 quotes,
Okay.
and I need approval for that.
You're ready to go ahead and get that ready then? Okay.
Yes.
Does anyone entertain a motion then for?
I make a motion that we approve Metzinger Construction do the sidewalk for $4,750.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
And then also, I have 3 bids for the ADA merry-go-round with the poured-in-place surround that is required by ADA. It's a poured-in-place rubber compound that is required by ADA to go around these merry-go-round. Willie Goat Toys and Playgrounds gave a total with the merry-go-round and the poured-in-place installed at $29,591. Mid-States Recreation gave a total with the merry-go-round, poured-in-place, and installation, $45,352. And then APC Play gave a total with the merry-go-round, the poured-in-place, and installation of $46,428. And there will be probably a 4 to 8 week lead time on that item, so it probably won't be installed until July.
So we need to, you want us just to go ahead and entertain a motion then for,
Yes.
okay. I think the Willie Goat was the best option. the 29,591? Is
Yes.
that the correct amount?
Yes.
Does anyone want to entertain a motion for that, or?
We got the money, Tara.
What page for that?
Now, remember, the Community Foundation $20,000 grant will go
Okay.
Towards
to
this?
cover,
Yeah,
That's what I
cover
was,
this. We will, with the merry-go-round, the board in place, and the sidewalks, we will have to do an additional appropriation of
well, you just gave it to me today, so if I could remember what I did in my head about,
roughly
yeah,
15,000.
yeah, that,
Yeah.
who knew that port in place is literally more than the merry-go-round? But they require it, they will not install it without it. Which I can see why, it's,
so in the end, it's right around 14 or 15 it will be liable for?
Yeah.
right, cause
Yeah.
20 of it's already. And I've heard from people that are really glad to see this coming. I didn't realize this right outside of town, we've got some families that have handicapped that would love to be able to have something for their children at the park, you know? Who wants to have a child that goes to a park and see other kids play and they can't? Breaks my heart to think about that.
I'll make a motion that we adopt that, quote. The low one,
The Willie Goat
yeah,
for 29,591?
yeah.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Is there anything else, Billy, on the park, or?
If he's done, I have something.
Also, alright, I'll let you.
Yeah.
I'll let you spill the beans on that one. Since
Okay.
It actually came to you, so go ahead.
Yeah,
I
so,
yield the floor to you.
and this person is likely watching, but there has been an anonymous donor, very generous anonymous donor, send to us not only an AED to install at the
AED.
AED. It's called the Power Park G5 AED with ICPR dual language. Anyway, sent that to us, sent some child or pediatric pads to go with it. And in a separate box, we got an all-weather, like a waterproof case for it to go in that is always lit up by LED, and it's got a temperature control inside of it, so it will need electricity. The door will work without it. And Shane's probably knows what I'm talking about these. Are you familiar with different kinds? There is a lock code, and I just received this today, so I've learned all this today, that I will get with Renee or whoever at 911. I have to provide them with the lock code, so somebody can't just go to the park, and this person, it's for the park. They can't just go open it and take the stuff out and, you know, use it. It even says on there, call 911 for the lock code. Nick, I believe, was the one that installed this one. Wasn't that
think
right,
so,
like 3 or 4 years ago? So I will ask his help in installing at the park.
Okay.
And, you know, get with Billy and see maybe what would be the best place out there. They can go on buildings, they can go on poles. But it's gonna be nice that it'll be lit up, that people can easily see even at night.
Okay.
Do you have anything else to add about those?
No, it was just a generous, donation, and on behalf of the town, I am grateful for all the donations that we have received, materials, labor, even some stuff that was unexpected. But I would like to go publicly and give a big shout out to, Brett Richardson. He spent his time and equipment, and went to the playground, and he and I looked it over, and he was able to, get enough of the graffiti on the playground equipment that you can't read it. He was able to he spent 2 or 3 days working on that. But I want to give a big thank you to him for volunteering his time, and he did us a good favor. But eventually we will have to look into companies that refurbish that, but as of right now, he saved us a lot of time and a lot of money, so we can hopefully get through another year or 2 without having to do that. But a big thank you goes to him for his time and the effort, and just helping out the park.
And we did research and try to find, and we were like finding companies that do it, like California, Florida. There's gotta be somebody, I don't know if general contractors would work on commercial playground equipment or what? Would you know how to do that, Craig?
You know, Billy and I talked, most times you can use a torch and some heat, a heat gun won't get hot enough. A torch and some sandpaper, different grades of sandpaper, but sometimes it's just so deep.
And there were so many of it. It would be one thing if they would have spray painted it. I found product that would get that off, but whenever you engrave it into plastic like that.
Well, it depends on the depth of the engraving. Some of it was fairly deep, some of it was just kind of surface scratches.
Okay.
Yeah, sandpaper and a heat gun.
That's tough. The sad part is
there's not enough time in the week.
And the sad part is if it's too deep and they can't correct it, people can't afford to replace those.
Right.
So what they'll do is they'll get a color matched thin piece of plastic and then they will rivet it. They'll form it and rivet it to it. When you see the rivets, it's not the prettiest thing, but it's not buying a whole new $40,000 slide.
I look forward to when the cameras go out there.
Well, I looked, we researched and I found companies in California and Florida that travel the nation and do all of this. And I've seen their portfolios of what they've done.
They probably have fillers and stuff they can put in.
And it's amazing what it looks like. It was brand spanking new when they get done.
Right.
Pricey.
Yeah.
But it does, it's a lot cheaper than buying new equipment. And it extends the life of your equipment a whole lot longer than it would. But that's for another day. Once again, thanks to Brett Richardson for helping out. And also, Bill Lantrum donated some clear coat. So wherever Brett sanded and did all of that, put the clear coat on it to kind of seal it up a little bit. So it looks better, a lot better than it did.
I have a question. This is off the equipment. Can we as a town buy weed killer? Bill Brock said he would spray I took my dog for a walk along the trail in the stones. He said if we could get the killer, he would donate his time and bring his sprayer until we either get ours repaired or whatever.
Well, what I've been looking at, and I haven't had time because I've been to deal with issues at the sewer plant and park and this one thing and another. But what I want to do is I'd like to get a small 25-gallon tank with a 5 or 6 foot bar sprayer.
Yes.
And mount on the gator. The gator's got a receiver hitch. Mount it on that and use it to go through and do what we can legally do.
Right, instead of a pull behind tank with a wand.
Yeah.
Do we have to worry about the wells being back there? That's my
A
question.
certain perimeter feet is what we have to do, and I've got to check on that before we do anything of that.
Okay.
Children too, the school, there are all sorts of stuff you cannot spray. So you'd have to check into all of that, I would think.
Well, we wouldn't be doing anything around the playground equipment or anywhere. We weed eat all of that. I don't spray
Okay.
anything anywhere near
Around
the
the kids'
playground
play
equipment.
equipment, okay.
But yeah, I'll get with Bill Brock later this week and see what we can come up with, and I'll check and see, because there's a certain perimeter that you can't do anything.
Right.
And I think it's 200-foot perimeter, but I'll have to double check that. I know I know the.
What do we do, pour salt on them
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, you laugh, but actually, you can get a mixture of non-dishwashing liquid, vinegar, and rock, or salt, and Epsom salt, and it makes a cheap homemade weed killer.
then? Right, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I'm just afraid once them big grass bulbs take root, all that stone is for no reason.
yeah, well, that's my next step. I've got some places that I'm gonna look into for, beefing up the park a little bit more, so. I'm headed to the big boys next, so, we'll see, what we can come up with that, but I'll get with Bill. In fact, Bill is actually donating the trailer so that we can load up the truck and trailer of the caps that we have and take them to Evansville. We've got 26 large black trash bags full. We've got about 950 pounds that we'll be taking with us, so, yeah. But I'll get with him and see what we can do. But as far as the park, I'm good. Oh, and by the way, another, for the ground rep and everything, I wanna, say thank you to Jeff Rustin for allowing me to use his tractor and tiller. I was able to get everything broke up and ready to go. So a big thank you to him for allowing me to use his equipment. And no cost, but I did volunteer to replace the diesel I used. Other than that, that's all I've got for the park.
Okay. Our next item is, our stormwater.
The stormwater utility board has declined to ask the town council to raise the stormwater rate this time.
Yes.
I only wanna say one thing, and I know you guys can rethink this and bring it back up later, but I think my concern is I don't wanna raise rates, but then I feel bad for the people that's affected by the stormwater. I'm talking about the apartments, the low-income people in the apartments, when they can't even get to their doors to park, they have to park somewhere else on the road. Capstone is the same way. So that's what I feel bad about them, is because when they have issues, then I'm gonna say, well, we didn't get this, or we can't do that because we didn't follow through on other steps that we were trying to do for the town. So that's all I wanna say about it, so.
Can I speak?
No, sorry. I'm not gonna make this a big, long discussion, but I just wanted to bring my point up tonight, so.
Makes sense.
We're gonna move on to the next one. Billy, you're up.
All right, let's see, I got 3 companies bidding on the well cleaning. I've got Peerless, Ortman, and National Water Service. I don't have those yet, but I should have by the end of the week, and then I'll bring it up in June. And then when we did our wastewater project in 2017, I and the engineers and we got into a discussion. I wanted to do away with the old pumps that were already there and use the new ones exclusively. They wanted to keep all 4 of them and use the 2 as the 2 primary, the 2 old ones as primary and the old ones as backups. Well, the 2 old ones are money pits, but they are also in my permit where I am required to have 4 influent pumps at the wastewater plant. The 2 old ones have become a money pit. One, the repair on it is roughly $9,200 the last we spoke. Didn't get a rock solid number on that. I'm still working on that, so final numbers will be in June. And then, also, the gearbox for the tertiary clarifier, the old one that was there originally is being used as a spare. Well, it is past its wear and tear and, costs more to repair than to buy. So they quoted me at $8,600 for a new gearbox. Unfortunately, the only one that you can get the gearbox from is Lakeside. The price I got was from a third party who actually buys it from Lakeside. I haven't had a chance to call Lakeside and see what it would cost going direct, but I'll have those numbers in June at that meeting as well.
Okay.
Brian Jones with Jones Electric was able to save us several $1,000s by us getting the parts, and he rebuilt the UV light, one of the UV light banks for the UV system at the wastewater plant. And then when they came out to service the generator at the wastewater plant, which actually that generator has been in service for 30, 35 years.
How many, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. How many years? 25 or 35?
Somewhere
I heard
between
5.
30 and 35. It was put in early mid-90s when they did the project at the wastewater plant. The air filter had become a home for mice. So they chewed that up and clogged the housing going into the turbo. So I've got a filter and the element and everything on order for that, and that one is $625. Blower number 2, the bearings went out on that blower, and unfortunately, Arizin is the only company that works on Arizin products. Had a discussion with them. They have everything patented. They will sell parts to a third party repair place, but they won't give the pertinent information as to clearances and all this and that. So they got all of that. But anyway, the blower repair is, I will have the final numbers on that in June, but it's roughly $7,200 to get that repaired. But I'll have the final numbers on it in June. Stormwater, I'm still waiting for some prices on repair on South 421 there at the intersection of East Jackson. Had a discussion with Mark Enda about dealing with NDOT. From what I gathered and the people that were actually pulled in to discuss the issue, don't believe we'll have a problem with NDOT trying to get what we need done. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay. Our next item is, our marshal. Justin, do you have anything? Or?
Yeah, I've got some
Okay.
stuff here. The Explorer's gonna need some tires soon on it. For staff, Jay Rosine completed his 80-hour refresher train on 5/4. Officer Salvo resigned on 5/4. When we get his letter or email, we'll get it to you.
Okay.
Obviously, Marshall Bright might possibly be resigning here, could be within a month. Stats, through 5/9, 12 traffic stops, 11 warnings, 1 ticket. 17 calls for service and 3 ordinance warnings.
Okay.
And that's it, that's all I have.
Does the officers want us introduce themselves?
Yeah, you guys go ahead.
Go ahead.
Jake Myers, 28-year veteran of the Franklin Police Department. I spoke with Marshall Bright a couple days ago regarding the potential vacancy for the town marshal's position. So I'd like to express my interest in applying for that, and I have a kind of a fuller resume here. If you guys want that, I got a copy of it for each one of you. So, I did work out here in 2021 and 2022. I had to resign towards the end of 22 because I moved over to Petersburg. Just didn't make a lot of sense to be making an hour and 20-minute trip to work 10 hours a week. So I opened that up for somebody else who was local to be able to work that. So we are back now. We live out on 900 East in Kirklin Township. So I'd just like to answer any questions you may have, and if not, I'll let Steve stand up and give me.
Jake, when you was here before, everybody liked you. Yeah, long, everybody thought a lot of you.
Yes, well known. He comes from a good family.
Beg pardon?
I said you come from a good family.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, I know your mom and dad very well.
Would you guys like, would you guys entertain, like, if we had like interviews, would you guys entertain, like, coming back for an interview
Absolutely.
with the council? Okay.
I'll pass these out when you guys are done.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Let me know if you do that, because I have to advertise
I
it
know.
as an executive.
Yeah.
Good evening, my name is Steve Jones. I currently work for the Rossville Police Department and the Mulberry Police Department. And I'm looking for something closer with more hours. I work second shift at Mulberry and Rossville. And I'm looking for something where I could do more day shift and mix up my hours and do like weekends and weekdays, mix it up a little bit. I've got 2 grown children. They're both, one's a dental school student, one's a radiation therapist. And I've been in law enforcement since 1993. And I spoke to Marshall Bright about a year ago and been working with him towards this, knowing that he was running for sheriff. And I've left all my information with each of you with a copy. And if you were to set up an interview, I'd be happy to come talk with you.
Okay. I did have a question for both of you. Another thing that is important, like, from the town is, we have like events, and I think community stuff is important to our town. Would that be an issue, like to do like Kirk's Crossing or any of the local little town events that we do, just have some presence of like an officer here, or?
No, I personally think that's very
Okay.
important that you're.
I just wanted to reach out about our community stuff that we,
And not only
do,
just
so.
those special events, but I mean, just the community as a whole.
we have like Easter egg hunts, and it's kind of nice to have an officer there. I mean, just silly, like little things like that too is important to the community, so,
I agree.
okay. I might get with council and try to get with Tara and set up a date, and can I just reach out to you guys then?
That'll
And
be
then
fine.
get you on that interview, okay. Thank you guys for coming though.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any other questions for Steve or Jake? Okay. We're gonna go ahead and start with our clerk treasurer then.
Okay, so I have the revenue report, the appropriation report, the fund report. Here are your adjustments done in April. And both of the APB registers. And I wanted to tell you about, there's, Sandra from the bank came to see me, and right now, we're making very little interest on our bank accounts over there. And she has an option for us to move into a different, she said that the town has had them for years, and there's a much better product out there now, right now. There's no change to bank accounts, no changing checks, deposit slips, or anything, but we'll make more interest. So I was just gonna let you know, as a fiscal officer, I'm gonna move us to those, to try to bring in some more interest. And then the last thing that I have is Jennifer Rustin, stated that she left a payment. Apparently she put 2 checks. She said she put 2 checks in a envelope, and she thinks that Carla might have accidentally thrown away one of the checks, which not happened before, but is it theoretically, it's possible. So, she just wanted us to adjust off the penalty, which is $18.02. So, I don't adjust unless it's something that we know that we've caused up here. You guys decide all the other adjustments, so that's why I'm bringing it to you before I did the adjustment.
We vote on adjustments for leaks.
Yeah, cause that's not for me to decide,
Yeah.
so. An
Well,
adjustment
on this,
is for
Jay,
you.
we never voted on nothing like that. We vote on lots of water leaks.
I mean, I suppose you have it within your power to grant what she's asking is not, is just to have the late fee waived.
Yeah.
Well, you
Because
know,
she believes she had it in the envelope, and she thinks Carla might not have saw that one. Carla applied the other one.
Okay,
So, I mean, is it possible? Yeah, I mean, anything's possible, so.
okay.
And anytime we make adjustments, we do note their record, so if it would become a habit with somebody, which has never been
No.
she's never asked for that before, then that would be a red flag, but she's never,
I don't really see an issue with it. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but,
And it's only $18, so.
yeah.
yeah, she's not asking for anything else.
and it's not reducing
Water.
the total, the normal payment.
Right, okay.
It's literally just the penalty that goes on in the 16th.
Okay.
I make a motion to pass it.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
And that's it for me.
Did you get everything, all of your stuff signed? All your stuff's done? Okay. Does any council have anything, or?
I do, but I need to talk to him in private. I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Okay. The only thing I have, it's the start of the season with the weather getting nice out. I have pictures from like maybe April the 11th and one from this week. There's a little girl on a scooter and she's on 30, and she's on 38, and I've got pictures of her sitting on State Road 38. I'm getting it from all kinds of residents, and they're sending me pictures like crazy.
Yeah, we're aware of it. Tillman's been dealing with it.
Okay, just thought, I just had more pictures today sent to me, so. I just said I would bring it to the council meeting and let the officers know, so.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not that people are complaining about, they're afraid she's
Yeah,
gonna
she's
get
afraid
run
she's
over.
gonna get hit.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And
So
this
that's what
happened
they're
last
worried
year,
about.
too.
Yeah, that's, I was gonna say, I thought we dealt with it last year and got it stopped.
It never really stopped.
Never did, okay.
Yeah, we're just worried about her safety, so.
Okay.
All right, a meeting's adjourned then.